today's video. My name is Bailey and I am your Reiki Master. And today I'm going to be doing a distance Reiki healing session that's going to be focused on connecting with the moon and our menstrual cycle. And this was something that one of my viewers requested, so I thought it was a good time since we just had the new moon and a eclipse yesterday, June 10th, depending on when you're watching this. But you can still use this video whenever you want to connect with your menstrual cycle, or it's also called your moon cycle. And also I'm going to do a bit of just womb healing and sending Reiki energy to the womb space. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this video, and I apologize to my male viewers if this doesn't really resonate with you, but if you know a woman in your life that you think would benefit from it, please pass this along. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just going to first just give our space a nice bit of cleansing with my little tiny bit of sage that I have left. Just wafting this around your space, just clearing out any stagnant energy that you may have picked up from your day. So we're just going to cleanse the space and I'm going to set that down in my shell here. Just let that burn itself out. And the moon is associated with the divine feminine. So there's kind of feminine and masculine energies in the universe. So the moon would be associated more with the kind of watery, darker, feminine energy, and then that kind of yin energy. And then the sun would be its counterpart, which would be more associated with the masculine energy, kind of, that yang, kind of more doing, acting, making things happen kind of energy. And one isn't necessarily better than the other. We need both of them in our lives to function. Obviously, depending on your gender or your gender orientation, you may have, a stronger pull towards one or the other, but we do still have both of those aspects inside of us. And the new moon is associated, well, you can start your menstrual cycle or your period or your bleed. More typically associated with the full moon. I think there's some different theories on that. And there's actually proper, research that is looking into the effects of the moon on the human body, especially women's bodies. I think a lot of science thought it was a myth for a long time, but there's actually some interesting studies coming out that are showing that there is indeed some connection, and we are 70 to 75, 80% water as humans, and the moon affects the water on the planet. So just kind of by that alone, and the fact that if you believe as I do, and it's kind of hard to question it, that we are a part of nature. We are the kind of ruling species on the planet right now, but we are part of nature. We have the same building blocks inside of us as other mammals and creatures on the planet. So it's not really, I think it's pretty understandable that we would be affected by the moon and other celestial bodies, just like other organisms on the planet are. So the moon energy can be kind of thought of as when it's in full moon, when the moon is full, it's kind of thought to be similar to like the uterus being full or ripe. So when the full moon comes along, for a lot of people, if your menstrual cycle is synced up with the moon, that can be when you start your bleed, or your period starts. So, and because it's shedding that ripeness that it was, because that's when the moon is at its biggest, and then it slowly starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And the new moon, which we're in right now, is thought to be when you ovulate. And kind of also to go along with that is you think about a seed germinating. Where does it germinate? Where does it start? It starts in the dark, in the soil. So with the new moon being the time that the sky would be the darkest, it's kind of the thought process is that it's your internal kind of soil is brewing and releasing and growing that seed if the seed gets planted. So and if you're not on that cycle, that's totally fine as well. It's it's just kind of one way of looking at the menstrual cycle. But I know for me, I hated getting my period. I used to skip it all the time with my birth control, which probably wasn't the best idea. But now I have it regularly, and I am in sync with the moon, and it's actually been a really beautiful way for me to reconnect with my body, and really kind of be more in tune with my cycles, because we need different things physically and emotionally at different times of our cycles. So kind of being more aware of that, at least for me, has really helped me kind of manage my mental and physical state even better. So just a little bit of a rant there about the moon and our menstrual cycle, and If that doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. I think if I would have heard that maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, I would have thought it was a load of BS. So if that's where you're at in your journey, I totally understand. So we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of a selenite cleanse, because the selenite crystal is really strongly associated with the moon. So we're just going to start our healing today with giving you a little selenite wash, just gently stroking out your aura. And if you are having, menstrual pain or cramping or some kind of trauma to your womb, I want to use my really lovely healing crystal. I actually use this when I'm having my menstrual cramps. I just lay down on my bed in a dark room, and I place this literally just right over my uterus. So, and it gives me a lot of relief. I can really feel the, the vibrations coming off of it, and it really calms my system down. In my Reiki practice and training, I think it's really kind of opened up my, it's supposed to do that, open up my energy sensitivity. And really with crystals, and especially this crystal, I know it has a lot of really high vibe healing energy. So I'm just going to place this just over your womb space. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And one thing I just wanted to show too that I have for this session today is this is water from the sacred well at the Hill of Tara, which is a very, very sacred, divine, feminine site here in Ireland. If you're ever here, I highly recommend that you go for a visit. It's just kind of a hill with some mounds on it, some very sacred mounds, very ancient. But this water, when I filled this container with it, it tasted like elderflower. It was gorgeous. I haven't tried it in a while because it's been a while since I filled it, so I don't think it would be good for me to take a sip now, but it's from a very special sacred spot, so I thought I'd bring it in for this session today, so that we can use some of its lovely healing powers and high vibrational energy. So I'm just going to set that back here. And I'm going to go ahead and call the energy in. So if you're not already laying in a nice, comfortable position, go ahead and get yourself all cuddled up. Okay, gorgeous. I just wanted to mention the way this healing works through distance Reiki is you just have to set the intention to receive this energy And this energy will come to you wherever you are through space and time, because energy knows no space or time. So I'm going to just help you get further relaxed by taking some nice deep breaths. You can go ahead and place your hand, one maybe on your heart and one on your womb space. There's a really strong connection, with our heart and our womb space for us as women to really open up, in our kind of divine feminine sexual power. We have to feel that love and connection and security, which comes from our heart space. And you can think of like a figure of 8 going between the heart and the womb, connecting the two. So I'm actually gonna start this healing having us take 3 deep breaths. So now that you have your hand, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, just take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Feel the belly rise and exhale through the mouth. You can really blow that air out or sigh it out. And inhale again. Exhale. And inhale one more time. Feel the chest and the belly rise beneath your hands. And exhale. Sigh it out. Gorgeous. And I'm just going to gently place my hands over your womb space. And you can continue to take those nice deep breaths. And that'll just help your body get further and further into rest, relaxation, just stimulating that parasympathetic nervous system to come online, telling your body it's time to heal, time to relax, time to tune in to what you're really feeling. We as women have that internal knowing or women's intuition, and a lot of people think that comes from that womb space connection. And some of you may notice when you're on your period or your bleed that you're hypersensitive, that you're hyper aware, kind of even maybe to energies, to sound, maybe to light. And it's almost like overstimulating, where you just want to go and rest in a quiet place and maybe just be alone with yourself. And that's perfectly okay and good if you can give yourself that space and time to really connect with yourself, connect with your body. It's actually so incredibly amazing what our bodies are able to do. We are the ultimate creators, the creative divine vessels here on the planet. We are the capsule, the vessel that brings new souls onto this earth plane. And knowing that, at least for me, has made it a little bit easier with some of the things that we have to deal with as women. I used to really struggle and sometimes still do with how challenging it is to be a woman at some times. The additional things that we have to think about on pretty much all levels of our lives. But I do think that it is truly amazing, beautiful, and sacred what we are able to carry within our bodies. Whether that means that you have children, or maybe you have godchildren, or maybe you just connect with that feminine energy. Wherever you are on your journey, connecting with that divine feminine energy that is held within us. I just want you to take another 3 deep inhales through the nose. Feel the belly rise up and exhale gently out through the mouth. And inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And one last time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. just want to finish this healing with setting the intention to honor ourselves, the divine feminine, with each and every person on this planet, and really set the intention to connect with yourself maybe more on a more regular basis, and maybe in nature, maybe through journaling, maybe just lighting a candle and setting the intention to sit with yourself. But just trying to cultivate that connection with our divinity, our womb space, the sacredness that we hold within each of us. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day or evening, and